Okay, so I've done the video like this before in the last video. Last video I did it with the pound USD. I'm just going to do the same video here. What it is I'm taking a top-down analysis on this time the Usdjpy, and I'm going to do all the analysis that I do and decide on my bias of if I'm going to buy or sell this pair for the following week. It's just a little series that I'm doing, and we'll review it every week. So this type of video is just a one-off because I won't be redrawing all the lines, etc., and drawing all the trend lines. But just for this one-off video, I will be showing how I kind of draw my trend lines and my zones and check my analysis. Okay, so let's just get into it quickly. So, like I say, I always start with drawing my trends. So, you can see we've got a little flag pattern forming right here, like that. So, what a flag pattern is a huge push upwards, and we get a rejection on each of these trend lines here, and they're very well respected. So we can use these trend lines as a form of confidence to predict that the price is going to go in the opposite direction. So yeah, so this flag pattern's been in effect since May 15 as of now, so good 4 years. So yeah, so this is very good for that. Now we will next draw our monthly key zones. So we typically tend to draw them in areas of significance towards of where current price action is. So not too far away. So something like this up here is irrelevant as of now, even though it may help. But we aim to look for concise charts, very clean, nothing too complex. Forex should never be this complex with all thousands of indicators and drawings. Although it looks complicated and other people use it, it's just ridiculously confusing, and it shouldn't be that hard to trade. So okay, so my significant levels are at 101.2, 106.23, and 113.866. Okay, so that's my monthly key zone. So I'm going to drop it down to a week just to see how things are going, if we can put any more zones in. So I can see some here. So like I said, I change colors as I go down on the time frames, just to make it visually better for myself. So somewhere like here. What else can we see? Something like that. And what we try to do on the weekly as we get lower is cover price action in both directions. So if price was to go up, where would price likely to reject from, or go the opposite way, really? So just looking upwards like here as a such, and we would look downwards as well at the same time, because we want to cover both ways. So now we have all our lines here. I can start to drop it down a further time frame. Okay, so this is quite interesting. So I'll probably make these a little thicker, actually, just for ease sake. Okay, so as we can see that there was a nice upwards, nice uptrend starting from March all the way up here. And we broke that very strongly. So we can see that a lot of sellers are at this point here. And I think that was partly due to some fundamentals. So strong confidence here that this would have been a very nice trade if we had partake in it. So yeah, we can see that this the bottom trend line did respect our levels. As we can see, it came all the way down here. It's did 200 oh wow, it did 280 near 300 pips past, but it had a lot of buying sensitivity afterwards when it reached this zone. So we could say that this zone is very respectable each way. We see that the top is respected as well because we have 4 key points here of where it was rejected, right? So I would this level here would bring me absolute confidence that this is the time to sell if price did come up to here, and this would also give me confidence to buy because of a previous action here, right? Okay, so now we can also draw another trend line here. So as we can see, it was following up, and then it came back down. So for a test on this this significant level, his own level, 109.77, clearly became as support, and now we are looking at this potential. We want to see what happens here, really. So it would be a good idea to see what happened. We should grab our fib tool actually and see where we would take it. Yeah, so the 0.5 50% level on the fib, and we see that this ratio was respected. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to when a scenario like this happens. Many traders do take it from here, but in a scenario like this, I would typically take it from the close, the next wick, which would be this green one here, as I just find it in the past it's just worked a little bit better for me in the long run. So yeah, so we can see that there's a retracement here, and we look to go a bit higher. So if we use our tool, the fib extension, go here and our high, pull it back here. So as we know that the golden rule is up here, price is there, so we could if you used the Fibonacci price tool, the tool, they typically use the 1 point, I can't really see, what was it, 1.272, sorry, as an area for their take profit zone, and then they also use the 1.618 as another key zone. But you have to have a lot of confidence that price is breaking these areas. So what we would look for is something out of here where price completely pushes past this trend line and forms a retest and then goes further upwards. Then we would use our fib extension tool and take that as a profit. So yeah, so as we know this is a tracement, I would definitely say that price will potentially suppress this zone, so go past it and ultimately aim for this target here. So if we drop it down a bit further down, alright, yeah, so we can see we see something like this forming right now. So draw another trend line. So what actually might happen in a scenario is price would come up to here. So price would come up to here, and it may do like a double top or something, and it will signify a drop. And what happens, it might drop to this trend line here, and then it will possibly shoot all the way back up, something like that. So that would be a scenario. We'll continue to come up here, do a little nice double top, and it may drop down here to retest this zone once more. And if it suppresses this, then we are looking further downwards to the bottom zone, and then we can then look for a buy order in this area here and look for a potential buy. So that is that. Hang on. So if we look now, we can see that there's a lot of short price action. So candlesticks are getting smaller and smaller at this top, so we're losing momentum. So if we look at the 1 hour, yeah, like price action is different. So we look at this price rise, and then we compare it to here. We can see that this is a very gradual, and this is a very very steep straight way, like straight way up, if you know what I mean. So it's very dramatic in price action as opposed to this. So this is gradual, this is very steep. So yeah, we could say that price is kind of losing momentum, and we're on the 1 hour chart. We could potentially draw another. Yeah, so we can see this sort of forming another little upwards trend. We're still in upwards trend. We just have to see what happens at this zone here. And this little zone will be very significant for us to see if price action touches this top up here, or if we come back to this point. So it is ultimately what happens as of in the next few days or so. So we have a look here. So if we break past this, so if we get a little break above this, then we'll be looking to see what happens in this zone here. If we can push past this, then we'll aim up to here. If we get a rejection off here and we start to cross this and close completely, price would, so if it came here, then we got a complete close of a candle on this hourly time frame. We'll get a oh sorry, let's delete that. We'll get price will come back down, and then it'll shoot all the way down, but then it'll retest this. The trade for a short for this area will be valid if we see sensitivity, so like any pin bars in a downwards direction. Then we would look for a key price action that would signal a downwards momentum. However, if we are able to, if it does come back down and then comes back up, if it continues to show strength on upwards, then we will, and get back to this zone, it will do something like this, and then whatever happens here, but most likely it will give it strength to push all the way through there. So in this upwards buying scenario, we would have our buy order set somewhere like this, potentially up it like that, and towards the top of this. So that would be a very good long-term little few days for that to happen, maybe. And then if it was to, so that would be our buying opportunity. then if we were to look in the other direction, if it was to close, so if it was to come to this point, go there, retest, then we see price drop here, it would look something like this. So it would be like that, somewhere like this, and it will drop to this area here. And yeah, we can say that if this scenario does actually happen, and if price does continue to go down and then there's no sensitivity to this point, I would be more likely to look for something like this again. So a push, so this would be a complete push, then a retest, so this is the exhaustion, and then we wait for some sort of price action to signify a further push downwards. And trades like this is kind of the key long-term swing trades that we can take profit of, because we can see that how a simple retest of a trend line can give us confidence that the probability is more likely to go downwards because it's broken and it's retested. And at the retest, we want to see a lot of sensitivity for us to put this sell type order, and our take profit would be in two positions. So I would put my TP 1 on the previous push high, so the previous push low, sorry, so like here, and then the next TP I would put at the bottom, and then that would be my version of, so that would be where I would put my stop losses and my take profit zones for each scenario, really. So yeah, so we looked at in this video, so we just looked at how where I would put my stop losses and my take profits for this week, and that is for looking if price action went upwards and then if price action was to come downwards. So we looked at two different possible outcomes of where I think price will likely to go, but we just have to see where the price respects this trend, this trend line here, and if we can bounce out of the zone, and we can look at the possible entry for a buy or a sell. So in the following week, we'll look at how price action did take effect to what I did in the week before, and the video won't be as long because the reason why this was long is because we drew all these lines, and we drew all these chart the zones and the trend lines and the zone and explaining some extra tips. So like I said, this will be a one-off video for this pair. In the next week, it will just be showing, it will just be me reviewing what I predicted and then where I think price will go next in that next following week. So yeah, so if you'd like to, so yeah, if that was any of use, hopefully it was, to be fair, yeah, hopefully it was good of use, and you learnt something. So yeah, so come back next week and we will see how the US dollar to the Japanese yen perform. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.